Ranking the best running backs in Madden 24. We are back here with another tier list update. Today we're going to be updating my running back tier list. And now before we rank the new cards, gotta re-rank the old cards. And how I think this tier list changes is Bo Jackson. I still think he's an S tier running back in the game right now. I'm going to drop Fred Taylor down into A and then everyone else down a singular tier. And this is what the tier list is looking like before we get into the new cards. And now the first card I want to go over is Frank Gore. We did get a team captain update. So he goes from an 80 overall all the way up to an 89 now, and he's now 86 speed. So on a theme team, you have a full 50 out of 50, could be 88 with 90 acceleration as well. And I mean, honestly, the card isn't trash now. Like, he used to be really bad. He's just kind of like okay now, and he can't really catch the ball either. The catch rating on a running back is something that I do really look at, because once we hit like 80 catching, I feel like you have less of a need for gift wrap. Like, if you drop the ball with 80 catching, I feel like that is just a random drop. I would recommend still running gift wrap so you never get screwed over. I'm looking for around 80 catching. When we look at his abilities though, he doesn't get anything crazy either. He doesn't get like a jukebox or anything. So for me, Frank Gore, he's gonna go like C tier. I just feel like he's an okay running back in the game, and again, that's him at an 89 overall. After that, we get Unstoppable Deuce Vaughn right here. This card stats wise is pretty awful with 82 speed, doesn't hit 80 break tackle. The thing on the card though, right, I could see him being really glitchy because he's 5'6", 176. Like, I believe that's the smallest player model in the game. That's the reason I think you would use him, not from a stat standpoint, just like he would be able to fit through gaps that no one else can. But for me, he's gonna go F tier. After that, we have the opposite of Deuce Vaughn. We have someone with a huge player model, Gus Edwards, 6'1", 238, only 81 speed, and again, not even over 80 break tackle. So this is another card going in the F tier for me. And we have Zach Moss's first card of the video. Again, 84 speed right now, just really isn't that great. Doesn't hit 80 break tackle. So again, this is another pretty bad card. He's going F for me. Tyler Algier got a team of the week upgrade with only 80 speed, and this time he does break 80 break tackle, but 80 speed, man, that is just too slow at this point. Again, going F. And then Dolphins great Raheem Mostert got a team of the week upgrade, and he's 87 speed. Now this card right here is strictly just physical stats. Again, I'm not saying he's anything more, but 87 speed, 89 acceleration, and doesn't hit over 80 break tackle, but the physical stats are actually pretty solid. For me, I think he's probably the best budget running back in the game. If he's not the best, he's definitely up there. For me, I'm putting him like top into the C tier. Chubb Hubbard, same thing, but 83 speed and doesn't hit 80 break tackle, so he's going right around everyone else in this F tier. We got a Monty upgrade who he has been balling this season, but only 82 speed again, and also doesn't break 80 break tackle. He does have decent catch rating though, but for me, again, I just think the speed and everything is just too low, going F tier for me. After that, we got another Dolphins great right here, Chase Edmonds with 86 speed, and this time has 84 break tackle. All the way around, I feel like this is another really solid running back. 74 catching as well, 72 short route running. Again, doesn't get any great abilities, but this is actually a pretty solid card. I'm gonna go ahead and put Chase Edmonds on this B tier. Now he's more bottom end. I do think he is slightly better than Raheem Mostert as well, but he's just like bottom end, man. I think he's better than everyone in C, so I'm gonna slightly put him in the B tier. After that, we get Jamaal Williams with 84 speed, again a little bit low, 6', 224, but this time has 85 break tackle. So I like the break tackle rating. I don't love the speed on him, so he's kind of in like a either a D or a C spot for me, and I'll go ahead and lean C tier for him. Think he's like literally okay. I don't love the speed, but I like the break tackle. And after that, we get Damien Harris, again 83 speed, really low, 5'10", 213. This time does have 80 break tackle though, with some pretty good trucking. For me, Damien Harris, I'll put him slightly in the D tier, just slightly. All right, and now we get some lower overall versions of top end cards we're gonna cover later. First one, we got 86 overall Walter P with 86 speed, really good physical stats across the board, 5'10", 200 pounds, and also not really great at catching, but at 76 short route running. I think this is again a really solid running back, a good alternative to his top end card, and for abilities, again, only unlocks that tier 1 bucket. So for me, Walter P, I'm also gonna have him in the B tier as well. Think he's really solid. After that, we get 86 overall CMC with 86 speed, 87 acceleration, 85 agility, and this time pretty good juke move, has good catching, good short route running. I really like this card. The reason he's not going to be A for me is because he can't get like a jukebox or RB app, which that might be not valuable to you, but I think he is like top end of this B tier, really solid alternative to his top end card. And now we get Andrew Beck right here. If you watch the channel at all, I made a whole video on this card, and he's 87 speed, 87 acceleration, 6'3", 255. Now big backs this year, the trucking, the stiff arming, the break tackle type of backs. I prefer the smaller backs this year that can juke, but this dude's player model is absolutely huge. And again, like the physical stats, and I'm gonna pull up all his stats real quick. The thing I want to talk about is 83 short route running. He has 83 short route running. That is kind of crazy on this card. And he also has 87 catching. So he is a great receiving back, man. He is so good. For me, Andrew Beck is top into this A tier, man. I don't think he's S tier, but I think he is a great running back in the game. After that, we get Arian Foster. This is a card you could potentially get for free. Do your Hispanic heritage run solos, complete some objectives, get his upgrade token, and he goes from an 82 to an 86. And this 86 has 88 speed, 87 acceleration, and he has 88 break tackle. Not really great catching or short route running, but he's 6'1", 227. And when we look at his abilities this time, though, this is where I think he's really great. Jukebox or RB apprentice. Now, I don't think he is an S tier running back in the game, but again, I think he is like top into this A tier. I think he might be a little bit better than Andrew Beck, but again, I don't think he's S tier. After that, we get another Dolphins great right here, Alec Ingold with 85 speed, and I am covering fullbacks. I would just say you can play them at running back. Same thing with Andrew Beck. Forgot to talk about that. That's on me. But yeah, he's like 85 speed, 87 acceleration, and from an ability standpoint, you can get like honorary lineman, puller, elite. I feel like he's an actual fullback more than he is a running back. I could see the argument for B, and that's where I'll put him. I'll put him in the B tier. And now we got Zach Moss's second card of the video, 88 speed this time with 87 acceleration, 85 agility, and it has 85 break tackle with 71 catching. So all the way around, really solid running back. And if we take a look at the abilities he can get, this is where he slightly loses me. Like, can't get an RB app, can't get a jukebox. So from a stats standpoint, I think he is right along the lines like an A tier running back. But for me, he's going B tier because I just don't think he gets the good abilities like a Foster, a Beck, or a Fred Taylor. After that, we get DeAndre Swift again with 88 speed, 88 break tackle with 75 catching, 75 short route running. And from an ability standpoint, he can go ahead and get that jukebox ability, which is really like all I'm looking for now, because if you have the top end cards in the game, right, you would have Joe Montana with Howard Master. So he doesn't get the RB app, but he does get jukebox. Oh, this is a tough one for me, man. Is this DeAndre Swift S tier? I think he's better than Foster, Beck, and Fred Taylor. I'm going to slightly lean S tier for him right now. After that, we get the free Derrick Henry right here. Now, when we upgrade Derrick Henry, okay, he's up to an 89 overall, and how you have to upgrade him, you have to do your solos and then also do an unstoppable champion set. You could technically get Derrick Henry for free. You have to do an unstoppable champion set, which will run you about probably 500K. Now, Derrick Henry right here has 89 speed. That's really nice. 6'3", 255. This is such a preference thing though, because if you prefer the big backs, right? I know this year I was talking about how I don't has 90 break tackle as well. It just really depends on play style. And when we take a look at his X factor and everything, can get the angry runs X factor. Is it worth 2 AP? I'd probably say no. You can get a ton of unstoppable ones too. Like if you throw him the ball a bunch, you can get a backfield master. I think it's like 6 completions to him, and he can get a backfield master. And from just a base abilities, bulldozer, armbar. Now, that's where he kind of loses. Like, I just don't think the power back abilities are good this year. This might sound crazy and you might disagree, but I think Derrick Henry is more along the lines like an A tier running back than he is S tier. I just am not really a fan of his abilities this year. And again, I think the big backs just aren't as good as the people that can juke. And right after that, we got CMC's AKA card with 88 speed, 90 acceleration, 88 agility. And this time though has 83 break tackle, but big thing, 81 catching, 82 short route running. Still has an argument for best receiver in the game. And if we look at his abilities this time, you can go ahead and get jukebox or RB apprentice. That's really what I'm looking for an ability. And CMC for me is easily going to be in this S tier. After that, we get Najee Harris right here with 87 speed, 88 acceleration, 6'2", 242, and has 86 break tackle with 70 catching. Kind of similar to Derrick Henry. Don't love his abilities again, like the bulldozer, the armbar. Not a big fan of it this year. For me, Najee Harris is going to be in this A tier. Now, I do think Derrick Henry is better, but he's going to be more along the lines of like an A tier rusher than S tier in my opinion. After that though, we get Walter Payton with 89 speed, 86 acceleration, 5'10", 200 pounds, and this time has 87 break tackle with 70 catching, 80 short route running. He's pretty similar to CMC with the fact that he can get a RB apprentice jukebox. I've heard some good things about human joystick and evasive. I like in Ultimate Team specifically wouldn't run evasive, would just run jukebox because jukebox is what makes evasive great. So for me, Walter P is firmly like, I think he has a very good argument for best running back in the game. He is top end of this S tier. And right after that, we get Mike Allstott, aka A-Train. He's 6'1", 248, 85 speed, 93 acceleration, 90 trucking, 91 break tackle. This time though has 78 catching with 80 short route running. Honestly, Mike Allstott, we're going to talk about it again. I don't love the people with the big player models this year, but from an AKA X Factor standpoint too, right? Can get Freight Train for 2 AP. Hello? Or Vanguard for 1 AP. Like, these two are pretty nasty abilities right here. And when we look at his other abilities too, he can get an RB apprentice. For me, Mike Allstott is the reason Derrick Henry is an S tier. And why I say that is he's the best power running back in the game. Like definitely depends on playstyle, but I think he's an S tier, and you can argue his placement. It just depends on playstyle, because if you're someone that like throws the ball a lot, don't really do like a bunch of like power runs, you're not even gonna like this card, and you'll probably think he's more along the lines of like an A tier rusher. And finally right here, we got Marshawn Lynch with 89 speed, 89 acceleration, 5'11", 215, has 89 trucking, 90 break tackle, and 89 change of direction. Not really great catching. This is a card that is kind of tough for me. I want to be able to put him S tier. I do. If I were just to run a power back, I'd rather run Mike Allstott over him. Now I could see the argument for Marshawn Lynch or Derrick Henry being in this S tier, but for me, this is what the tier list is looking like. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Running back is a position where there are so many usable options. Like if you're rocking Raheem Mostert on like a theme team, I don't even think it's that bad. Yeah, just let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. If you did enjoy this video, want to stay updated with the best cards in Madden 24, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now if you guys want to watch me use some of these cards live, check the links in the description, hit that Twitch with the follow. Now if you don't feel like heading over to Twitch though, and you want another video to watch, check this one out right here. I ranked all the best quarterbacks in Madden 24.